What do you do when someone asks you for money and you don't want to give it to them? What I do is I tell them how I feel. And many times, how I feel is uh, that I don't want to give anything, but I might feel a sense of guilt. And, I might even say that. I might say, the only reason I would give you money is because I feel guilty. A lot of people, if someone comes up to you and asks you for money, you might say, you might shake your head, or you might, keep walking, or you might try to avoid eye contact. I recommend that you look at them in their eyes. You look right at them and you just tell them the truth. Um, a lot of times we give because we feel guilty, and that is not a loving act. If you give because you feel guilty, then you don't really care about the person. You're just trying to assuage your own guilt. You're trying to make it disappear. Well, that's not going to happen. What you do is you tell the truth. A lot of people might say, I can't give to you. I can't. Sorry. Well, why are you sorry? Say the truth. Say I don't want to give to you. And that might be very hard. You might need to have some courage, and you might you might cause a confrontation. You might get some kickback from the person. They might say to you, "Well, everyone needs some help sometime." I heard someone tell me that, and they said, one day you will need help. And he's right. I mean, I'm going to need help. That doesn't mean I need to give when I don't want to give. I'm really trying to do this in my own personal life, trying to do things out of a desire. And it's really hard with my work because I know I don't want to work, but I do anyway. And the way that reason that is that I'd rather be taking care of myself than having to make someone else take care of me. So instead of being courageous and find something else that I could do to that I would like to do to pay my way financially, I keep the job that I have. Anyway, when it comes to this issue, I would say if someone asks you for money, tell them the truth. Whatever it is in that moment, I don't want to give to you. Um, I feel guilty, and that makes me not want to give to you. Now, in the moment, you might not have a chance. They might have something prepared that they say to you, or they say to many people, and they might have a story or something. Um, if they start saying a lot of things, you might I was walking down the street and someone started shining my shoes. I mean, not exactly, but he was nice to me. He came up to me. He said, you have a spot on your shoe, and he started shining my shoes. And I said, I don't have any money for you. He didn't ask me for money. He just started doing it. And I said, before you go any further, I just want to let you know that I don't have any money to give you. And it wasn't easy for me to say. I could have just had him do it. Now, by the end of the job, I would have known that he would have, asked me for money, and I would have felt guilty that I didn't say anything earlier. So I did say something earlier. I said something before he went any further. And he was so quick and smooth that, he got my foot on that little, on a little box that he was carrying. He started shining, and he put some lotion on it before I could say anything, really. I was, kind of flustered. But I think there's a lot of value in telling the truth. And it's hard. I don't tell the truth all the time, but I'm working on it. I'd like to get there. And I think a lot of the time we do things out of guilt and out of fear, And if you can tell the truth, then what you're doing is you're giving yourself the opportunity to feel the fear. A lot of times we avoid confrontations because we don't want to feel, we don't want to experience what might come. We've had enough traumatic experiences where people have misjudged us, have been nasty with us, have told us we're something we're not. And now we are people who have a lot of fear. We've been threatened, we've been maligned, we've been persecuted at different points in our life. And now we have this habit, we have a behavior of avoiding confrontation. Well, if you can just kind of go full speed ahead. I mean, I think if I could get myself on a trajectory where I just experience whatever confrontation, if I have the fearlessness to experience confrontation after confrontation, oh my gosh, I would excel so quickly. I would speed up my my growth exponentially. I'm sure I would. I'm not there yet, but the prospect itself is exciting. So that's something I look forward to. So my recommendation is tell the truth when it's not convenient to do so, and at least you can hold the principle that you're doing the right thing. You're not lying. You're not saying I can't. You might be able to, but you don't want to. It's not that you can't give money. You might have a few dollars in your pocket, but you don't want to at that time. So that's it.